Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy says his victory plan to end the war with Russia includes requests for specific weapons and an unconditional invitation to join NATO now. The Ukrainian leader recently concluded a tour of several European capitals, trying to win approval for the 5-point plan from Western partners, which have stopped short of publicly voicing their support for it so far. For a quick comment on the matter, we have with us Irina, Tsukerman, geopolitical analyst. As always, Irina, thanks so much for making time for us. Russia has, in fact, been quick to dismiss Zelensky's proposal, calling it some ephemeral peace plan. What do we know about the plan's main elements, and can we now be hopeful to see an end of the more than 2 years of war?
So there are several elements that have been made public and several that are still have only been shared with the US and a few other close allies of Ukraine. The public elements that were presented to the Ukrainian parliament today included this prospect for being invited to join NATO. This seems to be rather unlikely at the moment, although some countries like Poland appear supportive. But on the other hand, Germany has been in sharp opposition, and the US has not been vocally supportive of it either. Some of the arguments against it were that Ukraine is currently partially occupied, which goes against the rules of NATO membership, and that the most cynical reason is that NATO members do not wish to extend the invitation because then they would be responsible for aiding Ukraine in more direct defense, or could be held responsible. The rules of engagement and what Article 5 actually means are still not 100% clear. Another element includes the strengthening of Ukrainian defense against Russian forces, which includes getting permission from countries like the US to use long-range weapons such as missiles on Russian territory. And as we know, after the presentation of that element to President Biden in September, that request was denied yet again after multiple such iterations, and so far that does not appear to be forthcoming with this administration. Another element included the containment of Russia through a non-nuclear strategic deterrent package to be deployed on Ukrainian soil. That has various elements. I could see some countries being supportive of it, because increasingly Europe is starting to wake up to the fact that Russian aggression does not end in Ukraine. There's been several terrorist attempts on European soil, leading up to the Paris Olympics. But there are other elements as well, such as joint protection by the US and EU of Ukraine's critical
Well, in fact, in that
resources.
latest speech, we hear that Mr. Zelenskyy has also criticized China, Iran, and North Korea for supporting Russia, calling them a coalition of criminals. But Irina, thanks so much. I'm afraid that's all the time we have on this show at the moment. We will, of course, revert to you for regular updates.